In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about the determination of hybridization of xenon tetrafluoride molecule using group theory. There are three major steps that are involved. The first step involves writing the reducible representation. Second is reducing the reducible representation using reduction formula, and the third step involves assigning the hybridization. First, we will move on to the first step. It is writing the reducible representation. First, write the structure of the molecule xenon tetrafluoride, square planar in shape, 4 fluorine atoms in the 4 corners of the square plane, and xenon at the center of the square plane. Then the point group of the molecule, which is planar, square planar in nature, is D4H. The symmetry operations of the point group are E, C4, C2, C2 dash, C2 double dash, I, S4, sigma H, sigma V, and sigma D. So now we will write the basis for the molecule representing each sigma bond by a vector. In xenon tetrafluoride you find 4 xenon fluoride bonds, and so there will be 4 vectors like this. There are 4 vectors given for 4 sigma bonds. Perform this each symmetry operation on the basis and find out the number of vectors remaining unshifted. We are going to perform all these 10 symmetry operations given here. That is E, C4, C2, C2 dash, C2 double dash, I, S4, sigma H, sigma V, and sigma D, each one, and will on this basis that is given above, this is the basis, and find out the number of vectors remaining unshifted for each symmetry operation. First we will take the case of identity operation. Identity is the operation of doing nothing, and so nothing is done, and so all the 4 vectors will remain in their same place without getting shifted, and so the number of unshifted vectors is 4. Next we come to C4 operation. The C4 axis in the xenon tetrafluoride is perpendicular to the molecular plane and passing through the xenon atom as shown here, and C4 is rotation about 90 degrees, and during rotation about 90 degrees this vector will be shifted here, this vector will be shifted here, this vector will be shifted here, and this vector will be shifted here, and so all the vectors are getting shifted, and number of unshifted vectors is 0. Next we come to the symmetry operation C2. The C2 will be collinear with C4, and it will also be in the same axis. C4 and C2 will be in the same place, but C2 is rotation through 180 degrees, and once again when you rotate it through 180 degrees this will come here, and so all the vectors will get shifted and there will not be any unshifted vector. Next we come to the symmetry operation C2 dash. The symmetry operation C2 dash is in the molecular plane. Compare it with C4 and C2, which are perpendicular to molecular plane passing through xenon. C2 dash is in the molecular plane, and if suppose we have fluorine, xenon and fluorine here, the C2 dash passes through 2 fluorine xenon bonds. It passes through FXE, FE, and so the axis will contain these 2 vectors. The axis will contain these 2 vectors. Whatever vectors that are present in the axis itself will not get shifted during the operation. This is rotation through 180 degrees, and when rotated through 180 degrees these 2 vectors will not get shifted. This will come here and this will come here, but the other 2 vectors will not get shifted. The 2 vectors that are present and in C2 dash will not get shifted, and so 2 vectors remain unshifted. Next we come to symmetry operation C2 double dash. C2 double dash is in the molecular plane, and it is bisecting the 2, this is one xenon fluorine bond, this is one xenon fluorine bond, and this vector bisects the two xenon fluorine bonds, whereas the earlier vector of C2 dash we saw passes through two xenon fluorine bonds, whereas C2 double dash is still in the molecular plane but it bisects the two xenon fluorine bonds, and C2 double dash is once again rotation through 180 degrees, and during rotation through 180 degrees this vector will come here and this will go there. Similarly this will come here and this will go there, and all the vectors will get shifted and a number of unshifted vectors will be 0. Next we come to the symmetry operation I. During symmetry operation I, all the vectors get reversed. So all the vectors get changed and the number of unshifted vectors during inversion about the center of symmetry is 0. Next we have S4. S4 is C4 followed by sigma H, that is we'll get C4 followed by sigma H. C4 is along S4 as I have shown, passing through xenon perpendicular to the molecular plane, and it involves 90 degree rotation. During 90 degree rotation all the vectors will be shifted through 90 degrees to the other position, as a result of which the number of unshifted vectors will be 0 and subsequent reflection in the sigma H plane doesn't make any difference, and so 0 vectors will remain unshifted. This is symmetry operation sigma H. During sigma H symmetry operation, sigma H is present perpendicular to the principal axis. This principal axis is C4 axis and the plane is perpendicular to the principal axis. So this will be the sigma H. All the 4 vectors are present in this plane, and whatever the vectors that are present in the plane will not get shifted during reflection, and so the number of unshifted vectors is 4. Next is sigma V. The sigma V plane passes through fluorine xenon fluorine bond and contains the C4 axis, something like this. I will just try to explain this. Here you have xenon and here you have one fluorine and here you have another fluorine, and both these xenon fluorine bonds are present in this plane, and this plane contains the C4 axis, which is the principal axis, and so this is a sigma V plane passing through 3 atoms. So the 2 vectors which are present in the plane, they will not get shifted, whereas this will get shifted to this place and this will get shifted to this place. So number of unshifted vectors is 2. Next comes the sigma D, which is the last element under consideration. The sigma D plane will be like this. This will also be perpendicular to the molecular plane. This will also contain the C4, the principal axis, but the difference is that this plane bisects 2 xenon fluorine bonds. This is one xenon fluorine bond, this is one xenon fluorine bond. This plane bisects these 2 xenon fluorine bonds, whereas the previous plane contains the 2 xenon fluorine bond, and no vector is present in the plane itself, so all the vectors will get shifted. These 2 vectors which are present in the right hand side, they will go to the left, and these 2 vectors which are present in the left hand side, they will go to the right during reflection. So the number of unshifted vectors is 0. We will sum up all these things. During identity operation, 4 vector remains unshifted, C4 0 vector remaining unshifted, C2 0 vector remaining unshifted, C2 dash 2 vector remaining unshifted, C2 double dash 0 vector remaining unshifted, I 0 vector remaining unshifted, S4 0 vector remaining unshifted, sigma H 4 vectors remaining unshifted, sigma V 2 vectors remaining unshifted, and sigma D 0 vectors remaining unshifted. So these number of unshifted vectors represents the characters of reducible representation. This is the reducible representation. and these are the characters of reducible representation, and these characters, these numbers 4002, 000, 420, they are known as KR, characters of reducible representation. Now we are going to the reduction stage. Since there is not enough space in the screen, we will not be drawing the character table in each screen. The character table is for D4H is given here. I will just tell you the different features of this character table. This is the point group. This is the point group. These are the classes. There will be totally 10 classes here. 10 classes means 10 irreducible representations, namely A1G, A2G, B1G, B2G, EG, A1U, A2U, B1U, B2U, EU. These are the 10 irreducible representations. And the GP values are the number of operations in a class. One operation, two operations in a class. 2 is the GP for this. One operation, two operations in a class, two operations in a class, one operation in a class. So 1 is the GP, two operations in a class, one operation in a class. GP is 2, GP is 2. These are the GP values, and these numbers which are present in the character table are the characters of irreducible representation, namely Chi. Above that we find the reducible representation given here, and the reducible number representation we have arrived at that 400, 2000, 420. These are the characters of reducible representation. So these are the characters of reducible representation. The characters present in the character table are the characters of irreducible representation, and GP is 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, etc. And these are the irreducible representation. H is the total number of operations which you get by adding all the operations in all the classes. 1 plus 2 plus 1, these values added together. 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2, and it will come out to be 16. So the total number of operations is 16 in D4H. Now this is the reduction formula. 1 by H equal to GP Chi Chi. Chi is a character of irreducible representation. Chi r is a character of reducible representation. GP is the number of operations in a class. H is the total number of operations. Now the number of operations is equal to 16. We have already found out that using the character table. H is equal to 16, total number of operations, and number of times we have to take each one of these irreducible representation, that is A1G, A2G, B1G, B2G, etc. And for each one of this, using reduction formula, we have to calculate the number of times A1G is getting repeated, number of times A2G is getting repeated, and so on. When you consider A1G, you will consider these characters opposite A1G alone and leave the other characters. This will be the Chi value. When you consider EG, for example, you will consider these characters opposite to EG, and this will be the Chi and not the other values. Chi r will always be 400, 2000, 420, and GP will always be this number in the top 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2. Now if you look at number of times A1G is getting repeated, comes out to be 1. A1G is getting repeated 1 time, and similarly A2G is getting repeated 0 times, B1G is getting repeated 1 time, B2G is getting repeated 0 times, EG is getting repeated 0 times, A1U is getting repeated 0 times, A2U is getting repeated 0 times, B1U is getting repeated 0 times, and B2U is getting repeated 0 times. EU is getting repeated one time. Now if you sum up all these things, it will come out like this. A1G is getting repeated one time. So here you are writing that A1G once, and A2G is getting repeated 0 times. 0 times A2G is 0. So you will not write this. B1G one time. Find here. B2G 0 times, EG 0 times, A1U 0 times, A2U 0 times, B1U 0 times, B2U 0 times, and EU 1 time, and so finally you get EU. So this will be the reducible representation, A1G plus B1G plus EU. Now this is the character table of D4H. You find the letters which are written here. Letters which are written here are most important. XY is represent the p orbitals. These quadratic terms, a square minus y square, xy, xz, yz, etc. represent the d orbitals, and these are the rotation vectors. When you have a square, y square, z square, etc., it is totally symmetric s orbital. When you have x, y, z Cartesian coordinates, p orbital. When you have 2z square minus s square minus y square, s square minus y square, xy, xz, yz quadratic terms, d orbital. Now let us take the reducible representation A1G. First, take the case of A1G. And look at the terms opposite A1G. They are s square plus y square and z square. If they are present, the orbital is s orbital. Next we go to B1G and look what is written opposite to B1G. You find only one letter, s square minus y square. S square minus y square represent the d orbital, 1d orbital. Finally, only one more term is left out, EU. Go to the EU. You find xy written there. When you find xy represent the two p orbitals. And these are the terms representing the orbitals, and if you combine this d and 1s, you have 1s, 1d and 2 p orbitals. So d, s, and since we have 2 p orbitals, it is ds, p2, and this is the hybridization for xenon tetrafluoride with a square planar shape, dsp2. As per the group theory, we have got the hybridization as dsp2. Thank you.